What's up, everybody? Vash back here with another vlog, and I know it's been probably like 3 weeks or so since I've done one, but I've had a lot of family stuff going on, and I was honestly just not home to be able to really print anything. But I'm back, getting ready to move within the next month, so I've got to transition with that stuff as well as still making things. But to be honest, I haven't really had anything that I've been really wanting to make. Just a couple of things. Again, I really print more functional stuff that I can use on a regular basis. And thankfully I've been doing that with my X1. I'm trying to do that with my K2 Plus, and we'll get to that in a second. But right now I'm actually printing a modular mount for a tablet. One that I'm going to use at my desk so I kind of just wanted to have it there so I can read comics while I'm actually on my computer, but also just be able to use it for a few other things in regards to having a tablet there. But it'll be nice because I'll be able to like move it around and so forth on my desk instead of kind of having to have it sit in front of me. So when I'm working on stuff, I can kind of just have it in view versus like constantly having to look down and whatnot. But I'm going to have that there, as well as probably going to make another one for work and also for my significant other so that she has something to prop up her tablet as well. So once I'm done with that, I'll show you guys that. I'm printing it in PLA, more or less just kind of to see like the functionality of it, how it fits. And then once I know it's really good, then the other ones that I'm probably going to primarily use, I'll just be printing those out in PETG. But right now I'm using Bamboo Labs Basic PLA. I'm doing it in green and I think it's blue-gray. Yeah, it's blue-gray. So I've been doing it in those. So a lot of PLA printing, but I like to print a lot in PETG if I can. But let's move on to this guy. Next section. K2 Plus. I swear, every single time that I feel like I got a handle on it, something happens. I've been printing a lot of ABS stuff with it. If you've seen the last vlogs, I was printing a shoe rack stand, and so far all the pieces have come out fantastic. It's actually only really 2 pieces, but those pieces repeat, and I've printed everything except for one of the pieces, or basically one more of them, and then I'll have the height that I wanted it at. But for some reason I was continually getting clogs. I was getting jams. It was really sucking. It is just so unfortunate because every time I think I got a handle on it, something happens. I don't know what it is. Now, I will say that my issues pale in comparison to what I've seen with other people online. I've seen what a lot of people have been dealing with, and I feel for all those people. Hopefully, Creality fixes a lot of these issues with firmware updates and so forth, and maybe fixing their quality assurance issues. I'm not going to say that mine is built perfectly, but I do notice some things that are slightly off with it. Nothing that would stop it from functioning, but just stuff that maybe down the line would worry me in the long run that, is it going to fall apart? But we'll see. Like I said, so far, when it's printing great, it does fantastic. But when it stops, it's super frustrating. But I did get the clog cleared. I have a couple things I'm going to be printing with ABS, but I decided I'm going to, I bought a new roll of ABS, so I'm drying that for 16 hours. And then the roll I had that I was doing for the last bit of the shoe rack, I am just redrying it, covering my bases there. But for now, I actually have a few things I'm going to print with this, and I'm just printing in PLA. I'm doing another laptop stand, which the first one, if you saw, came out really good. But I found another one that I wanted to do, so I'm going to print that out as well. And then a few smaller functional parts, kind of actually for my stand for my phone that I'm using right now. Obviously, you can't see because it's being used, but a couple things so I can like add lighting and a microphone stand and so forth to it. but I will be testing that out, printing it on this. It just, man, this is actually really loud. It sucks because like when it prints really well, it prints super well, but when it doesn't, it is just frustrating. So I'll say this, I'm having the same kind of growing pains with this printer that I had with my K1. Although I will say, like, my K1, it got to the point where I just stopped using it, and it just sat there for months. And then I would turn it on, and then I would try and print with it, maybe do a few things, and then it would give me an awesome print, and then I would give it 20 more tries, and it still wouldn't give me anything, so then I would stop using it. Not to say that my X1 has always been perfect. I don't care what anybody says. There is not a printer out there that is perfect every single time. My X1 falls in that category. It just is a bit more reliable. So I think and I'm writing the review on this so you guys will know. It's why I wanted to do a review of this after a while of printing with it, putting in hours, because I have about 500 hours of actual print time with this, which in the end of the day, after 3 months, is not a lot. 500 hours is not, but I have to take into account that I have it in a place where I'm not always at, but also it just fails to print, so I can't always get a solid print of it, so I'm always having to stop the print, and then when I finally make it back, fix the issue, then start a print, hoping that it continues, and sometimes I'll leave and find out an hour later that it stopped. So, but yeah, like I said, I feel like my time with this is similar to my K1. Such a headache in the beginning. Over time, it was slightly getting better. When it printed fantastic. But when it didn't, it was a lot and frustrating. And that's kind of what I'm having here with this. I will say the CFS system is really good. I just wish it wasn't as loud. But that is something that so far I think is really great. I've seen the Creality High, and I'm actually really interested in that printer because I do like the system that Creality has with the multi-material, similar to Bamboo's setup. I mean, it's very clear that the Creality High is the A1 competitor. So I may get my hands on one of those. I don't know. Personally, I am debating on whether to get the Creality High or get the Elegoo Centauri Carbon. Those are two printers I'm kind of debating. The Centauri Carbon is really attractive because of the price, but I rambled on there. Back to this. I have the claw cleared, so I'm going to start a print on this in just a little bit. But yeah, it's a little frustrating. I do have some additional spare parts, and I will say this to everybody, regardless of what printer you have spare parts on hand. I have extra nozzles for this. I mean, thankfully, this came with an extra one. 0.4, similar to one, exact same one that's on there. But I did buy a pack, similar to what I did with my K1. And I have a 0.2, 0.4, 0.6, and 0.8. So I can print in different sizes if I want to get something more refined and much more detail. So I got the 0.2 if I want to speed up time, and I'm not worried about overall quality, and it's bigger. 0.8. I've printed with a 0.6 before, but not a 0.8, so I'm actually looking forward to trying that on here. It's similar to this. I have a 0.6. I don't have a 0.8. Actually, I need to buy a 0.8 for this. I actually need to replace the nozzle on here, but spare parts, absolutely spare parts. My mistake with my X1 was I did not buy enough spare parts because now I need to order another nozzle. Like I put maybe like a couple thousand hours on this before I have to replace it now, and I should have had a spare nozzle on hand. I don't, so I'm gonna order a few so I have them, because like I've chewed through this one using different kinds of material, ABS, ASA. I did a bunch of carbon fiber or PETG carbon fiber, and a bunch of PLA carbon fiber prints with it. And I think just over time, it just wears out, and nozzles just wear out. So my suggestion to anybody, have spare parts on hand. If you can, like on the Elegoo, the Neptune 4 series, have spare print heads. They're not expensive, and they're crucial to have on hand. And I've learned that. I learned that with this. I've learned that with my K1. And I have some more stuff coming for my K2. The extruder gear setup, I have replacements coming. I ordered them on AliExpress, and I guess they were available on March 1st, was when they first became available. I know some people have already said they've started seeing theirs show up, because I know a lot of people online have ordered them, so I'm just waiting for mine to show up as well. But I'm gonna get a new ceramic heater setup as well, because I want to have a spare of that. Because if I have to replace the whole thing to get it going, I will replace the whole thing to get it going. But yeah, I can't recommend it enough. Have spare parts on hand. It is super, super critical, super, super important. But I got a question I'm going to ask you guys. Have any of you done any laser engraving? Do you guys have recommendations? Because I am planning on doing something with a spare printer of mine that I'm probably not going to use anymore for 3D printing, just because it's a lot slower and it's not, I won't say it's not as accurate, because I've gotten some fantastic prints off of it, but it just, I have faster printers, and I'll show you guys that. I'll show you guys the one in just a second. So this is it right here. So this is my Ender 3 V2, and I would have to say this printer probably, I've done more hours of printing on this than I have on any of the other printers I have. The print quality on this at the time was fantastic. I remember when it came out, it like had all the necessary upgrades from the Ender 3 Pro. It had the belt tensioners, it had the little drawer, the screen was upgraded. Just overall cosmetic setup as well as functionality setup. It was just a fantastic printer. I've done modifications to it over time, adding a whole bunch of things, but it's actually reached the point where, like, again, it's like super dusty. I haven't used it in such a long time. So one of the things I was thinking was, there's a laser engraving module for this. I've always wanted a laser engraver. And I believe it's like a 5-watt laser from Creality. And I was thinking of just buying that, adding that on here, and just using this as a permanent laser engraver. So my question to any of you out there, do you guys have a laser engraver? Do you have a professional one? Do you have a hobbyist one? Do you have a modified system setup where you've put one on there? Let me know in the comments down below, because I'm actually really curious. Has anybody done what I'm kind of planning on doing with this? Because I was looking at it, and again, this is a printer I'm just really not going to print with anymore. I mean, I could add a clipper on it and do all this bunch of stuff, but I don't really have time to do that. I really kind of want to just add the module on there and then just be able to do laser engraving. And it would be taking away a printer I have, but I have plenty of printers that print fast and print very well. Not to mention, I have another one. I have another Ender 3 printer that I can use to print with and modify if I want to. That one's even more heavily modified. On that one, I put Marlin 2.0 on there, although I'm probably going to convert it to Clipper. I think I'm probably going to buy Big Tree Tech board and replace it. But I was thinking of this one, just putting laser engraver on there. So if you've done that before, how did it go? Do you like it? Does it work? Is there any pitfalls you think I should be aware of? So I'm curious to what you guys' opinions are on that. But I think I'm going to do that with this one. And I already have a 3D printed enclosure that I can keep it in. It's an enclosure, If you've looked on Kickstarter, Omni, they've made a whole bunch of enclosures. This is just another one from them. So I have one that I can throw a fan on there, have a filter on it as well, so you know, prevent any kind of like harmful fumes and so forth from getting out. But I think I might just do that with this one. You know, like I said, I've always wanted a laser engraver, so I think it would be fun to have one. But that's what I'm planning on doing with this. Let me know what you guys think, if you've done it, if you're planning on doing it, if you think I should just buy a laser. Also, if that's the case, what laser would you suggest? I know there's all kinds of different ones. I have a friend who has a laser. I know Creality sells lasers. I know there's a lot of other companies, so let me know what you guys think. I'm trying not to go super expensive, but I want like decent quality. If I'm gonna buy a straight up laser, I do want decent quality out of it. I don't want it to be kind of makeshift. Although in this case, since I'm just modifying it, if it doesn't work out, hey, it doesn't work out. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. But that's what I'm gonna do with this guy here. All right, guys, so that's the end of the vlog. Like I said, that's kind of like my plan for my V2. It's just to do that. So I think it'll be fun. It'll be nice to have a laser engraver. Hopefully the next print I start on this just goes and like we have no problems. So Creality, if you're watching, I doubt it, but Creality, if you're watching, please, 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 there's a number of things you guys got to fix on this. And my problems are not bad in comparison to others, so please. It is a good printer. I will say this, like if we are comparing this to other printers like the Solvol, and just other large printers like in this Core XY large print size, it prints very well. I know one person with a Voron, and they love it. But it was like a headache assembling it. I love this for the fact that it's all in one. I bought it, I took it out. The only thing that was frustrating with the initial thing was this thing is super heavy. 81 pounds is a lot. But that's kind of, I love the frame. But Creality, man, seriously, please stop making us your guys' beta testers out in the field. It's really annoying. It's really frustrating. So hopefully the next print I go on this starts going well. Hopefully once these are dried, I'm gonna just finish up my ABS prints. Like I said, I only have a few left that I really want to do, and then it's just really back to PLA and PETG printing, and then the random ABS print that I end up doing. But thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. Gonna be sparse with the vlogs coming up, so but keep a lookout. Like I said, I'm gonna be moving soon, so I gotta box everything up. I have a ton of comics and all my printers. Those are like the biggest things for me right now, so I'm gonna be having to move all this stuff into a new space. But hopefully the space I get will give me a lot of room to have my printers and maybe space to add on some more stuff like a desktop CNC as well as a laser engraver if I get that going. I'm actually really looking forward to doing that. So like I said, if you've done it, let me know, guys. But thanks again. I'll see you guys later. Have a good one. Peace.